missionary was sent to Indonesia that established Jamaat there. In fact, 4 members from Indonesia, they went to Qadian themselves, and they did not come with the purpose to become Ahmadi. In fact, they were traveling around. The details are is that in 1923 in Sumatra, 4 youngsters, Maulvi Abu Bakr Ayub Sahib, Muhtaram Maulvi Ahmad Nuruddin Sahib, Mukarram Maulvi Zaini Dahlan Sahib, and Mukarram Haji Mahmud Sahib came to attain religious knowledge from Sumatra to India. According to divine decree, they went to Calcutta, Lucknow, and then after Lahore they went to Qadian. In August 1923, these 4 youngsters, they came before Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani, that is these 4 youngsters, and they requested that please make arrangements for our religious knowledge and moral training, and Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani accepted their request, and he made arrangements for their religious training. And during the training, the reality and truth of Ahmadiyyat became apparent on them, and they accepted Ahmadiyyat. So these young Indonesians who took the Pledge of Allegiance in Qadian, after attaining the illuminating light of Ahmadiyyat, they tried to quickly illuminate their country with Ahmadiyyat as well. Sitting in Qadian, they started writing letters to their relatives in Indonesia. And in this way, the propagation of the faith began in Indonesia as well. When Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani returned from his tour of Europe on 29 November 1924, then a welcoming ceremony was given in honor of Hazrat Muslih Maud, the second Khalifa. So these youngsters of Indonesia, they said to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani that please also consider the islands of the east. At that time, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani promised that either myself or my representative will go there. Subsequently, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani appointed Hazrat Maulvi Rahmat Ali Sahib, and he was sent there. And he went to Indonesia by ship, and he arrived on 17th September 1925. And first of all, in a small abode of Aceh, Tapatoon, he went there. The society and culture over there was completely else. The language is different. The people were different as well. He did not know anyone at that time. But all these initial situations and difficulties, through Hazrat Maulvi Sahib's courage and endeavor, he overcame all of that. And alongside learning the language, he also performed individual tabligh, propagation of the faith. Moreover, he held debates and discussions with scholars. God Almighty blessed Hazrat Maulvi Sahib with his help and succor. And in only a few months, by the grace of Allah the Almighty, the first Jamaat of Indonesia was established. And 8 members took the Pledge of Allegiance into the Jamaat. And then after this, people started taking the Pledge of Allegiance to bed. Anyhow, this is a lengthy detail. As I stated in the inception, Hazrat Maulvi Sahib faced many difficulties. There was the problem of language and there was opposition against him. And then the culture was quite different, there were different traditions. But as I have mentioned, Hazrat Maulvi Sahib overcame all of these issues. There the scholars raised an edict that the books of Ahmadis and their articles should not be read, and neither should you listen to any of their lectures. When the local Ahmadis started increasing in number, then the people there, they started boycotting the local Ahmadis. And they boycotted them to this extent that even the newspapers were not ready to publish any news about them. Nobody was ready to publish any article with this respect. The opposition reached this stage that groups of 3,000 strong would gather outside the abode of Hazrat Maulvi Sahib and raise slogans and use foul language. And they would use profane and foul language and raise slogans of this sort. Nonetheless, after this, Haji Mahmud Sahib also arrived in Indonesia. So the Maulvis, in this way, they compelled him to write a letter that I have left Ahmadiyyat. And then they made an announcement based on this, and a lot of hue and cry was raised because of this, and then opposition reached an excessive level after this. Anyhow, Haji Mahmud Sahib later on realized, and he became safe from the plans and schemes of the scholars, and Allah safeguarded him. And in fact, the ulama came to know that our intrigue has come to naught. So then unanimously and united, they tried to turn out Maulvi Rahmat Ali Sahib from the country. And members of the government and representatives of the government were approached, but they said, in terms of religious affairs, we will not interfere with it.